Warrior, I am going to keep asking this question like a broken record every single day until we, the Warriors, start getting some answers. And that is, where are all the missing children, teens, young people in the United States? This comes to mind because I'm still reeling and thinking about what was reported to be 300,000 children, unaccompanied minors brought over the borders, our borders, into our country, and poof, just gone. I actually heard from my sources it could be a million, up to a million kids. This on top of all of our American kids on a daily basis, which amounts to around 2,300 a day. Now, bear in mind that is familial disputes, runaways, which are considered missing children. People try to dispute that, but a runaway is a missing child. Sex trafficked, labor trafficked. We barely talk about United States. Both Democrats and Republicans love cheap labor. So a lot of these kids are involved in labor trafficking. We talk about sex trafficking a lot because, forgive me, but I think people think it's more titillating to talk about that. But we have a tremendous problem. I dare say all of these kids who came over the borders are probably into, it would be equal the amount. This is just me saying this, labor and sex trafficking. The labor might even exceed the sex trafficking. But I also want to keep talking about there's such a rash. I am deluged every day at the Warriors with headlines or press releases or people sending me stories from around the United States of murdered kids. So what's happening here? Do we have an uptick in this? Sure seems like it. Or is it just because we have the internet now? And so we have more available to us. But again, I want to talk about one specific story that really kind of upset me, that the mom of a Texas A&M cheerleader was found dead after a football game in Austin. Now, this mom did everything right with her 19-year-old daughter. She always promised her mom that she would leave her location services on so the mom could always track her. That's a Warriors Take Action. We always suggest to parents sharing location services so you can track each other down. She also, that was the rule also when she's just out with friends. So they had this system going, which the daughter apparently never broke until this horror occurred. The mom thought it was weird from the beginning because her daughter had the do not disturb on. And the mom said she did not do this when she went out with friends because they had a rule and she always stuck to it. And after a couple of hours, the mom tried, and this is something else we have to change. The mom tried to contact the police department, say her daughter may be missing, and the police said, well, we got to have 24 hours. We can't file a missing persons report. And the mom also had a rule with her daughter, Brianna, that no matter how busy she was or she was out the daughter, she'd always text her, I'm okay, I'm with friends, and she got nothing. She got this do not disturb, which she found very odd. And again, we have to start working on changing that reporting of 24 hours. Because as a mom, as a parent, you kind of know in your gut when something is amiss. And this mom knew, yet she couldn't get any help. Finally, the following day, she got a call 4 o'clock in the afternoon. 4 o'clock. And the funny thing is, the phone kept pinging near this creek in Austin all night and the next day. And law enforcement, when the mom told them, they said, well, we can't get into that area. We can't go. But there's been such a rash of exploitation and murders in this area. The mom was very concerned, because we're not talking about that either. So many young women have been found in creeks, murdered, annihilated in Texas. And we're not talking about this. Is it a serial killer? Sure seems that way. But again, mainstream media, nobody's really covering it. We want to cover it in the Warriors. It goes into all of our missing kids, missing teens. So this mom swears her daughter had everything. They tried to say this is a suicide. But the mom said, no, it's not. She had everything to live for. She was a happy young woman. She was studying law and looking forward to a career in law enforcement. And she's not being given the right story. Again, her daughter's being labeled as a suicide. The mom is very, very upset. So I think we have to, as a community, we have to keep asking, where are all these missing kids? What's happening with all these murdered kids? What is going on here? Because I know so much is going on and the ball gets dropped, but we at the Warriors are committed to finding, talking about, giving out resources, putting those faces out there of all these kids, including our beautiful teens and young people. So join us. If you see something, say something. Best to call 911. If you're in a city like I am, New York, they don't answer 911 a lot for if you say it's a missing child, missing teen. There are, which I'm recommending, 55 local FBI offices across the United States. You call them. It's good to have a paper trail. You're not, if you're wrong about anything, you're not held responsible. So that's a myth out there. Get used to that. Better to report than not to report. So again, what you would do is if you think you see something, heard something, know something, God forbid your child or grandchild is missing, a family member, you got to get on this right away. Call 911, okay? Local FBI office, FBI.gov, cybertipline.org, and you must be that warrior because this mom did everything right for her beautiful daughter Brianna, and they said we can't do anything for 24 hours because she's not, considered missing, and she was also 19, which is technically legally an adult. The system's upside down, inside out. Be a warrior. Community creates change, but let's start talking about it. It is unacceptable that we have 2,300 missing kids approximately every day in the United States, on top of the hundreds of thousands that came over the borders under the criminal Biden administration, because that's who would do this to children, to people. This is a human rights abuses untold of, unheard of, that we're fighting. We're going to keep talking about it. Remember, lynswarriors.org. You can always write to me, lynn@lynswarriors.org. Thank you for all of your support. Follow this channel, like these videos, share these videos on your platforms. Let's leverage the internet for good, and let's keep talking about what's going on in our country. Join me. And when you wake up each and every day, you know the drill. Go out and be a warrior.